Everyone wants to grow their savings. But do we really know what safe means when we invest? Too often beginners chase the highest returns and lose sleep over market swings. What if I told you the best investment might be the one that lets you sleep at night? Over the next few minutes, we'll break down the safest ways to invest in the Philippines so you can make informed choices, avoid scams, and keep more of your hard-earned money. In this video, we'll demystify safe investments for Filipinos. Whether you're new to investing or just want to protect your money, this guide is for you. We'll cover low-risk options, from bank savings and government bonds to conservative funds, explaining how each works, what returns to expect, and what to watch out for. By the end, you'll know where to put your money so risk matches your comfort and goals. First, safe doesn't mean guaranteed profits. It means low risk of losing your principal. We judge safety by default risk. Will I get my money back? Market risk. Will prices swing? Inflation risk. Will returns keep up with rising prices? And liquidity. Can I quickly convert to cash? For example, a savings account is insured and stable, but its interest rate might be lower than inflation. Government bonds have virtually zero default risk, but if inflation is higher than the bond yield, your buying power still falls. Think of investing like a pyramid. At the base are the safest options. Low returns, but very stable. As you go up, risk and potential returns increase. We'll walk through 7 levels from safest, bottom, to higher risk, top, helping you choose what fits your goals. Stick to the bottom layers for emergency funds and capital preservation. Here are 7 examples of relatively safe investments in the Philippines. Level 1. Government securities. Government securities are the foundation of safety. These include Treasury bills and bonds issued by the Philippine government. They're backed by the Republic, so default risk is essentially zero. Recent auction yields are around 4.7% for 91-day T-bills and 4.8% for 182-day T-bills. These beat typical bank savings rates. However, watch inflation. If inflation is higher than your yield, you lose real value. Liquidity is moderate. You can sell them on the PDX secondary market, though many investors simply hold to maturity. There are no purchase fees when bought through the Bureau of the Treasury. Brokerages may charge a small commission if you buy via broker. Interest income is taxed at 20% final withholding tax. Level 2. High-yield digital bank deposits. High-yield digital bank deposits are savings or time deposits at online-only banks like Maya Bank, Tonik, CIMB, GoTyme, etc. They offer higher interest than traditional banks. For example, Maya Bank's digital savings yield about 3% base, and Tonik's 1-year deposit promo has been 6.5%, currently 5.5%. The risk is still low. Deposits up to 1 million pesos per bank are insured by PDHC. Liquidity is excellent. You can withdraw anytime via the app, subject to deposit rules. There are generally no maintenance fees. Interest is taxed 20% final. The trade-off: promotional rates may decrease after a year, and if you exceed the PDC cap, uninsured excess risk exists. Level 3. Money market funds. Money market funds, including mutual funds or UITFs, invest in cash and very short-term debt like Treasury bills and bank placements. They aim to preserve capital and beat typical savings rates. Typical returns are in the low single digits, around 3 to 5%. Risk is very low because holdings are high-quality, short-term assets. Liquidity is very high. Most allow next day, T+1, redemption with no penalty, making them almost as liquid as cash. Fees are small, typically 0.5 to 1% management fee. Taxes on gains depend on how long you hold units, often a 15% short-term capital gains rate for redemptions. These funds are ideal for your emergency fund or any cash you won't need immediately. Level 4. Corporate bonds. Corporate bonds are debt issued by companies, often large, stable firms. Because companies can default, their yields are higher. Good quality corporate bonds in the Philippines typically yield around 5 to 8%. For example, Ayala Land bonds issued recently had coupons near 5 to 6%. The higher yield compensates for moderate credit risk. Stick to strong issuers such as conglomerates, utilities, banks to minimize default risk. Liquidity is medium. Some corporate bonds trade on the PDX, but the market is thinner than government bonds. You may need to hold to maturity to avoid price swings. Fees include brokerage commissions, plus 20% tax on interest. Corporate bonds suit medium-term goals, around 3 to 5 years, for higher income than government debt. Level 5. Preferred shares. Preferred shares are a hybrid between stocks and bonds. Preferred shareholders get fixed dividends, often 5 to 7% before common shareholders. For example, preferred stock issues by Philippine banks have offered around 5 to 6% annual dividends. The risk is moderate. Companies can suspend dividends if troubled, rare for big banks, and preferred share prices can fluctuate in the stock market. Liquidity is medium. Some preferred series trade on the PSE, but with lower volume than common stocks. Fees. Brokerage fees apply. Dividends are taxed 10% final for resident individuals. Preferred shares can boost income without full equity risk, but there's still market risk, no maturity date. They suit investors wanting steady income and willing to accept moderate risk. Level 6. Dividend stocks. Dividend stocks are ordinary shares of companies that pay regular dividends. Yields vary by company, often 3 to 5%. Examples include utility firms, Meralco around 4%, telcos, PLDT around 7%, property developers, and consumer companies. Risk. High. Stock prices can fall with the market. However, established dividend-paying stocks tend to be less volatile than growth stocks. Level 7. Balance funds. Balance funds mix stocks and bonds. For example, 60% equity and 40% debt. They aim for moderate growth while reducing risk through diversification. Target returns vary, but often funds seek around 5 to 7% over time. Risk is medium. The equity portion provides growth, while the bond portion cushions downturns. Fees are moderate, around 1 to 2% management fee. Liquidity. Funds may require several days, T+5, to redeem fully. These funds are suited for goals 5+ years out, offering a one-stop diversified solution. Always check a fund's prospectus for its exact allocation and performance history. A few key notes. Inflation is around 6 to 7% as of June 2026. To outpace inflation, even conservative portfolios may need some growth assets. For context, Pagibig's high-yield MP2 savings was 7.12% in 2025. Taxes. Interest from deposits and bonds is taxed 20% final. Dividends are 10% final. These reduce net returns, so always compare after-tax yields. Liquidity. Safer layers are usually more liquid. Savings accounts and money market funds allow near-immediate cash-outs. Longer-term bonds or funds may take days to sell. Keep your emergency fund in the lowest tiers, levels 1 to 3, so you can access cash quickly without penalty. Watch out for these pitfalls. Chasing too good to be true returns. Promises of 20% fixed returns with no risk are often scams. Misplacing your emergency fund. Never put 3 to 6 months' expenses in stocks or long-term instruments. Keep it in cash or money market funds. Ignoring fees and taxes. Even small fees can eat into low returns, and taxes can trim yields. Lack of diversification. Don't lock all money in one product. Spread across a few safe vehicles. Underestimating inflation. A 2% return when inflation is 6% means losing real value. Always consider real, inflation-adjusted return. Here's a simple decision flow. First, define your goal and time horizon. Short-term goal, less than 1 year, versus long-term, greater than 1 year. Second, need cash soon? If yes, focus on the bottom tier, savings, money market funds, government bonds. Third, assess risk tolerance. Very low tolerance? Emphasize levels 1 to 2, deposits, government bonds. Moderate tolerance? Include levels 3 to 5, money market funds, corporate debt, preferred shares. If comfortable, add some levels 6 to 7, dividend stocks, balance funds. Fourth, allocate accordingly. For example, 50% in tiers 1 to 2, 30% in 3 to 4, 20% in 5 to 6, adjusting to fit you. Fifth, review regularly. Rebalance if rates or goals change. Keep part of your portfolio in the safest tier at all times. This chart helps keep your strategy on track. In summary, safe investing means matching your money to the right layer of the pyramid. Keep your emergency fund in the bottom layers, then slowly build up as you learn. Always check official sources like BSB, PAGIBIG, and the Bureau of Treasury for the latest rates and product details. Read disclosures carefully and ask questions if you're unsure. If you found this guide helpful, please hit like and subscribe for more practical Philippine finance tips. Drop your questions or experiences in the comments.